This is the Hey Biz Buds, the podcast. I'm Elinur, your host for today, and here we have our friends AJ,
Hi.
Fitri, Manisha, and Renee to talk about
Hey.
today's topic on storytelling in content marketing. So, remember when Instagram started out, and at the time, I remember social media was all about showing the perfect side of life, like it's curated and overly edited. You all remember or not?
Yes. I was in that
Yeah,
generation.
right. Me too. It's like it's either you're perfect or you don't post at all. But when you fast forward
Yes.
today, social media content creation game has changed so much over the years. And thankfully, I have a few experts here with me today to share with me about the landscape of content marketing in 2024. Okay, so let's go back to the very beginning and, share with our listeners who probably just started business. Let's share with them the importance of content marketing first. Like, why can't we just sell our products and services as it is? Why do we need content marketing? Anybody
The
wanna?
most expert in this room right now
Yeah,
about content
who's that?
marketing.
Hey.
Fitri lah, lama.
Yeah.
Fitri.
She pretend never hear.
Yeah, she pretend over here.
Humble.
Hello.
Hello, Vitri. Yes. So
Hello.
why or what is content marketing in the
Oh,
first
wow.
place? Yeah.
I did not prepare for this at all. Okay.
It's
So I
okay.
started what yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
In my own words,
Yes.
content marketing is any content that you put out there
Mm-mm.
that aligns with you,
Mm-hmm.
your brand, your business.
Mm-mm.
Um in hopes to nurture your audience into engaging with you one day.
Okay,
Yes.
so basically, like content marketing, you have to know your audience, right? Like get to know them before you even prepare your marketing, and then you communicate with them in a way that they understand, so that they can connect with your brand and possibly buy whatever you have in the future. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, so like content marketing, in 2024 things has been a bit different, right? It's more personalized. I feel
Yeah.
like when I watch TikTok, all kinds of platform, exactly. The content marketing is totally different from many years ago, or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if let's say you sell to me, like being all salesy, I'll get icked out and I just shut you off. I probably skip you, watch other stuff. And the fact that the way things have changed in selling and brands, business owners lately have been practicing storytelling. They inject this storytelling technique into their marketing. But what is storytelling? Is it like, yeah, I mean, like I can only think storytelling as, reading a book, like story tell. But in terms of business, what is it? Anyone can take this.
I think it can also mean vulnerability. Vulnerable. Yeah.
Can you explain vulnerability?
Gosh. Okay. So I also think that storytelling is really injecting your personal stories. Like what you mentioned, it has been stronger in that portion the past few years, or at least last year. I think it's also because of the outreach of AI, that we have
Outreach.
AI. We have the AI is like mushroom the past few, or is it last year,
Yes.
especially last year. Yeah, they have been uh uh one company does this AI, and every other companies also does it. So I think that's why the storytelling, or injecting your personal stories into your content, is more relatable, and then the aspiring business owners, or even those people who wants to work with you, could actually relate it back to you. And I totally agree when you say about recently it just storytelling or personal stories emerge more. And even myself, I never really share about my personal stories, whether my journey of my business, whether me being a caregiver. I always showcase the flower, the
Yeah,
success stories of what I've been doing, but
correct.
never how I got there. So recently, in YouTube, I decided to be vulnerable and share my personal story, and then it got quite a lot of feedback that, hey, actually I'm experiencing the same thing, and glad that I could actually share my point of view. So that is actually a knock on my my content strategy, that I need to have that story portion in my business whenever I do content for my company. Yeah.
I really love that you mentioned about your struggle as a business owner, and how, storytelling is not just telling the perfect stories or your success. People actually want to relate to you in terms of your struggle, because that is where we as listeners actually are in that spot. We are struggling to move forward to where maybe I aspire to be Renee, and I want to know, like, from where you started and how you get to where you are. I want to know your in-betweens. And that is also part of storytelling. But you know what's interesting? Like, okay, let's say, okay, for Renee, you sell video services, right? But what personal brand storytelling has got to do with video business? Like, what
I
would
think
make, yeah.
the a lot of people actually ask me like how I started doing
Mm,
video, which not a lot of people know.
mm,
It was just by passion, and then I converted it into a business. And
mm,
then when I dig deeper, right, it's actually
mm.
when all the way back when I was in primary school, when my late grandfather has this like camcorder, like those big camcorder.
Yes.
He had that
Yeah.
camcorder, and I was so fascinated by that. I
Mm,
could actually do the zoom in and zoom out. And then I was like thinking, oh, I can actually bring that person to me, closer to me, without me going nearer to that person because of that zoom in and zoom out. So that actually got me sparked with video.
mm,
Yeah, I think that's when I decided to kind of like dig deeper. Is basically when I turned my passion into a business, it was just the surface. What
yeah.
is deeper than that? So the deeper than that
Mm,
was because I encountered that camcorder from my late grandfather. That's why I kind of like
mm,
get interested in video. So that is a
mm.
story, because not many
Right.
people know as well. I think this is a few time that I
Yes.
share here.
First time
First
hearing.
time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now I know we can zoom, as in like she likes zooming in.
Zooming
So
in.
next time
Yeah,
we'll
so
ask Rin to zoom in, zoom in to us.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
so when it comes to like relating to video business, right?
mm,
Maybe there are someone or there are some people who wants to do a video business, and also this person maybe is an employee right now and wants to
mm,
jump in the leap of faith to be a self-employed. So
mm,
my story could be a story where they can relate, because that's how I
mm,
actually share my story, by me jumping from being an employee to a
mm.
self-employed. Yeah. So I don't
Yes.
I don't really start from running a business on the spot.
Mm,
I did the leap of
yeah.
faith. Jump first, swim later.
That's
Yes. Keep
dangerous.
swimming.
But
Mhm.
okay, it works for the most of us. Jump first, swim later.
Mm.
But yeah, anyway, I wanted to go back to what you said about relating to those who are in the same track as you were before going to business. The thing about storytelling is you can only communicate to a particular group, right? You cannot, I mean, like, your storytelling works if it connects with a certain group of people. It doesn't connect with all, and that's okay. Is that okay? That's okay, right?
I
Yeah.
think I
Is
think
that, I
that's
mean, you have
fine.
if you have another point of view, AJ, please share.
Yes, yes.
As in, like, I mean, like, if let's say your goal is to only connect with a certain group of people, and you successfully are able to engage them most of the time, even though it's one group of people, I feel that is successful. Because I've heard this story before, like you open a shop, right?
Mm-mm.
And then thousands and hundreds of people walk past your shop. None of them entered. but then only one person entered that shop. That one person is more valuable than that thousand of people walking past by the shop. So I feel that in that context, right? In that context, as long as you're successful in engaging your target audience, no matter how small, even though it's one person, but if that person were to purchase or engage your service, it's already a win for you, right? Rather than you like let everyone just pass by you like that. And there's no point you trying to engage them because clearly they're not interested in what you have to offer. So I feel that, yeah, as long as your story hits someone, or even if it's one person, I feel that that story is successful.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
deep, guys. That's very inspirational. Okay. I want to ask Manisha, like, okay, so content marketing, storytelling, you can do it on different platforms. Okay, you have video, you have audio. By the way, AJ writes great content on Medium. By the way, her content writing is great. You guys should check her out. Okay, but I want to swing to Manisha because she is the guru of Medium. Like,
Yes.
tell me more about in this format. Like, how does storytelling is impactful in a way in a written format?
Okay. I think storytelling, when we think of it traditionally, like you said, right, is read a book.
Yeah.
It's always, I'm like, sitting down and I'm like, oh, so nice, so pictures and all these words and all that.
Correct.
And there's like
Yeah.
a whole formation of something from start to end with possibly a moral somewhere. So that's why when you could think of like entrepreneurship, for example, we don't only talk about, like Rini said, we don't only talk about, oh, these are the tips from my business point of view. It is more holistic in the sense that we talk about every little anecdote that happens in our life.
Yeah.
And we either mold it into how that can help that person, or we mold it into, okay, this is just a story. I just want to give you an idea of what kind of person I am when you work with me. Right? So Medium is one way of doing that, but like you said, there are so many platforms. Like I know a lot of you also are on LinkedIn, and personal stories on LinkedIn is like amazing right now.
Yes.
We are all mostly content providers, right? We help our clients with different types of content. And in every content that we do, there's always a story. Like you do branding, even a brand has a story, right? But one thing I just want to jump and say, like there are groups of people who struggle with content marketing because either they are limited by compliance, like they cannot write about health stuff, they cannot promote, I don't know, pharma stuff, or they cannot promote insurance. This is where storytelling comes in. Because your story is where, whether you write it on Medium or LinkedIn or video or whatever it is, you end up telling the person like, hey, this is the kind of person, these are the values that I carry with me when you work with me. These are stories of how I help people. Like AJ was saying, people walk past. If I just have a signboard to say I am selling insurance, how many people are going to stop? Because what is the value I'm providing? What is the story I'm selling? Even if you get stopped by a person selling insurance or real estate, or I don't know, doing a survey at the MRT station, for example, the best way to stop you is for a person to be, like so enthusiastic and tell you a story like, hey, have you, recently done this before? Like that question,
Yes.
And then you're like, huh? What? Then you stop. If person just comes to, hello, do I have 5 minutes of your time? You're like, I don't,
No,
bye.
I don't.
Like run away. See, especially if you're introverts, you're like, goodbye, we don't want to talk to you. So it's that is what it is, because the life we have right now is everyone's just scrolling. And if your story is not enticing, or it's not relatable, or it doesn't show the kind of person you are, I'm just going to think that it's another one of your selling points. I may be interested after a while of getting to know you. It's like dating. I have to know you before I want to seal
Love
the
it.
deal kind of thing, right? Like everybody is So yeah, I think storytelling is that gap between like I think Henry was the one who said it. Content marketing is selling, and content writing is selling, and copywriting is selling. So we have to find a balance
between.
between the telling of the stories that I go through, and okay, if you are interested, let me know, join me in my journey, or etc. etc. All the CPAs that you can conjure lah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay. For those who are listening, you can pause, rewind, and take down notes. That was really gem. Okay. Like I get it. Like storytelling is it's like the way to go, because people don't just buy the product itself. They want to get to know you. Like you said, when you storytell, you share your brand values, and people want to support people who have positive values that they believe in as well.
Yep.
And I really love that you brought up that point. So we have different platforms. Now I want to go to Instagram, because Instagram was like the pioneer of social media, like with Facebook, but Instagram was like
I was gonna
the
say Facebook.
queen of content marketing. Oh, Facebook was very family, catch on each other.
Group like that.
Yeah.
Group. Okay.
Then
This
but
Fighting
one, my
groups.
photos.
Instagram was the first one to like position businesses, if I'm right.
Yep.
I want to get to Fitri because she's the queen of Instagram, and you've seen how Instagram has grown. Now, like, what do you have to say about storytelling and content marketing on Instagram? Like, how has it been? Has it been successful, or do we rely on other platforms? Yeah.
Okay. Instagram has definitely grown into a platform. Initially, it wasn't a platform to storytell. It was just a photo platform, and
Yes.
for us to share cool photos, the things that we bought,
Correct.
gain popularity, more followers. And then when I think stories came in first before carousels, I cannot remember. But I think it was stories first lah. And then we can have more slides, right?
Yes.
So stories came on, and because I think they see the possibility of videos, maybe because photographers are also taking videography, and they also want to showcase their videography on Instagram, and that's why they came up with stories. And I like that they name it stories, because I feel that they wanted us to share more insights about what we're doing, and everyone was a lot of us were, I think, at a point of time sharing a lot of what we're doing in that
Yes.
instance, and anything Instagram, anything
BTS.
Instagram. And we can tell that, 6 hours ago this person ate this. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we can stalk people. It was like a good tool, lah. Yeah, and then now that I think I remember, I think I shared this actually yesterday on my Instagram. I noticed a change of content from 2020 until today, 2024. So I think 2020, the reason why I think I started my business, was because I wanted to share another form of way to create content besides just promotional stuff. I see that that I need to get to know you. I want to know what's more than this. And I was sharing, okay, create more content. Don't just promote your stuff. I need more. And then I was pushing out. I was telling everyone to create more content. And then now that we're moving into not just content per se, but we're moving into now everyone knows you have to create content. Now everyone knows already. Everyone knows that if you want your business out, if you want to get engagements or sell something, you first need to push out a lot of content. But that's the thing. Now that there's a change in the way people buy now. So last time, maybe when you share a promotional poster, maybe it works because I need this. But now I need a little bit more information, and that's where the 2020 strategy came in, where we just share more content. It works. But now it's too much content to the
Yes.
point where I have a lot of options now. Everyone's the best. Which one is the best?
Yeah.
So it was now it becomes like a I don't want to say competition, but it sounds we are competing for attention. We are competing who is the
Correct.
best
Mm.
in the industry.
Mm.
And that's where I think storytelling comes in, because the branding experts, I think I feel that this comes from the branding experts, where they tell us you have to be you. You have, because you are unique. You are the only one, in this in this world. So
Mm.
you just have to be you because you want to be unique. The wow factor. That's where the
Correct.
story will comes in. That's where relatability comes in. The uh relatability and the uh and yeah, so I think that's where now is you have to share a little bit storytelling into it, share a plot, uh something that can catch emotion. Yeah, so I wanted to add on to what Rennie and Manisha shared just now. So story isn't just about, Rennie was sharing relatability, Manisha was sharing, what were you sharing? There was this word I caught.
Stuff.
Yeah, they were okay. I cannot remember. But and then I want to add on, the story has emotion, capture our emotion, and that's how we connect with one another. Is the emotion. Uh we humans will feel some form of empathy with one another.
Mm.
So yeah, Instagram has definitely evolved to a storytelling platform, and yeah, it encourages everyone to share your own story, your own personal flavor to your content.
I really love what Fitri has mentioned, because initially I asked about Instagram, but I think what she's trying to say here is it doesn't matter which platform you're at, but if you're able to capture their attention and connect with your audience, you're able to bring them in and transport them into, inside of your business, and so on and so forth. So they will follow up from there. So as a branding person, recently I've watched this video about personal branding, because right now people, there are a lot of people have been saying that we don't buy from businesses, we buy from people, right? So a lot of businesses has transformed into a personal brand.
Yes.
Right? Like some of us are even switching into personal brand. Am I right?
Yep.
To connect more with our audience out here. So when it comes to branding, I would consider branding to be the pillar of how your message or your story it gets directed. So without your brand, your personal brand, which sums up your brand values, your personality, is not really, there's no longer about the visual aspect. I don't even consider branding the visuals. It's important, but I think right now the personal brand, your voice really matters. And what I learned about branding is that you really need to love yourself first. It was super interesting to get this kind of advice about branding, to love yourself first, to know what are your weaknesses and your strengths, and honor your strength, also honor your weaknesses, and how you are able to be okay with it, and tell that story, and gel that together with what you're doing, and somehow you're able to find those people who will connect with us, and eventually, you know be known in that space where you're the space at. So I feel that all of us are valuable in terms of storytelling and content creation in marketing. And I would like to, have, for those who are listening, I think some of us have some advice here to kind of get you started in content creation, especially those who are actually just like me. I'm really scared of content creation because of how much I share, or how much can I not share. The introvert part gets in the way. So I want to go back to Renee, who claims she's an introvert. I don't know if she's an introvert.
I am, guys. I am.
How do you break the boundary of that and then just be out there and tell your story? How did you do that?
I think the first time that I broke my fear of talking to strangers was when I decided to join a networking group. So the sole reason of me joining and paying that networking group is because I want to break my fear of talking to strangers, especially in group setting. So being an introvert, I need a lot of warm up lah, right? Even one-to-one meeting also, I need to warm up a lot. But that networking group actually groomed me and nurture me how to be a good storyteller and at the same time network with people. That's one. And then another one is when I started sharing what I know on Instagram. Which actually I think at that point of time it was just like the only limitation was I think 60 seconds of video.
Oh yes.
So yeah, the
Have to
post
talk
of
really fast.
yeah, I have to talk really fast. Yeah, at that point of time, 1 minute was really fast. You know, like macam like I need to talk like on the whatever I want to say. You have to really on track. You know, you cannot like dilly-dally talk like what talking about. You know. So that was the first time that I also broke my fear in front of the camera talking to the audience. And being an introvert, right, I always have I don't know about you guys who are also introverts, whenever we talk to the camera, right, we feel that a lot of people are actually watching us, but it's actually just one person, because you don't have a computer in front of you and then everybody is like surrounding that computer and watch you, right? No, it's not. It's just one person to one
So
person. So
creepy.
it's a mindset shift as well. And I totally agree when it comes to like looking at the lens of the camera, it may be scary. So I actually had when I first started, I actually had this like a post-it note. I paste it on my camera like smile at me, you are my best friend. Yeah. So it was just that. And it was like a smiley face on that post-it note. So I will remind myself that I have to smile when talking in front of the camera.
Is the
like
camera flirting on you?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I also started off sharing and being creating content on videos. That was the first stepping stone. Yeah, and then I moved into YouTube. But at that point of time also I was just sharing tips and everything. But only recently I started to share my personal stories. So that's when I noticed the increase of storytelling even on videos. And that's how I kind of like shift a little bit on my content pillars, where I don't just share about video tips or YouTube tips, but I also share the journey of me being 40s as a caregiver and as a and as how I actually grow my business in that 10 years. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Last advice. Does it matter which platform you should storytell?
No, it
And
doesn't
is it
matter.
okay if we just choose what we like, what we're comfortable? Because Renee is those, she's the kind of species that
Does
that
everything.
really lives in
Yes, every platform.
uncomfortable zones, So for let's ask Manisha and AJ, like any platforms is okay, just writing, video.
I've always said this. Anybody who wants to start their business online or like start personal branding, pick one or two platforms that you're comfortable with first. Because if you cannot get comfortable with, like for me, it's writing. Honestly, I have not updated my Instagram in so long because I'm not comfortable. For me, it's actually difficult to cross that. Okay, I have to put a photo, I have to, okay, the writing part is fine, or show my face. It actually gets very uncomfortable for me. So for me, medium, vocal, those are fun stuff. They're actually fun for me to do. And I want to do that. So even if the fun stuff I'm not doing as much as I should be, how am I going to do the stuff that's not fun for me?
That's true.
So right now, it just seems I'm very quiet, but I'm just very busy and I want to just go back to the fun stuff. Yes.
Manisha,
Yes.
but you stayed but you stayed on Instagram for so long and you will create all those posts, and I mean we have to salute you for that lah. You did stay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I lasted long enough. I
Fourth
lasted longer
medium,
than I
she
thought.
appeared on Instagram, right?
Yes.
All
So,
right.
yeah.
I think, can I also share a little bit about what I just recently listened to a podcast about marketing on its own. And I did share this on my little group on Telegram. So there's 3 different funnels of marketing. Of course, the 2 we already know, sales marketing and what do you call it? The sales funnel and the marketing funnel. But there's another funnel that actually caught my attention, which is called the trust funnel, TRUST.
Nice.
So there's an acronym for this funnel. So the T is basically testimonial video. So if you have been working with that client and everything, always get a testimonial video from them to have that genuine review of what you have done for them. Of course, Google review is great, but you can have like 50 uncle aunties to do a Google review for you and 50 uncle aunties to do a Facebook review for you. But if you can have, if that person is not comfortable doing on testimonial on video, you can get them to do, just write a short one on maybe WhatsApp, because it's quite genuine because it's WhatsApp, you know, and if you get testimonial video, it's great. So that's T. And then the R is called referral system. And I feel that referral system is something that a lot of business owners forgot because they always assume that everybody is going to hire them. But until the point where nobody is going to hire you and you no longer have that referral coming in. So that's when you get to panic. So once you got into that situation, right, then you will feel that, okay, what now? Because you already panic, you cannot be asking for referral at that point of time. So always build that referral system once you start your business, or if you have not got any referral system, start it now. So after you finish your job, get the referral from that person where the simple question that you can ask is on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely you refer my business to somebody else. If they answer 9 to 10, then quickly get the referral lah. So that's kind of like give you that chop, like, okay, you did a great job. Okay, that's the R. And then the U is unique selling story. So everybody has a story to tell. Like what I think I mentioned earlier on with the rising of AI that we have right now, people you can create content anytime, anywhere because of AI. But because you have that unique story to talk about yourself, so that's where you can actually relate to your potential client. Okay, and then the S is social media searchability. This is very, very important because imagine, right? You have to imagine this. If let's say you have a lead that comes in, a potential client, and then maybe let's say you get the lead from a referral, okay, and then you arrange a meeting. So let's say today is what? Today is Tuesday, right? So let's say you arrange a meeting at next Tuesday. So what do you think that potential client will do from now until next Tuesday?
Search for you.
Yes, they will search on Instagram, they will search on LinkedIn, they will search on TikTok, YouTube, Google. They will do that. So if you have ever experienced that last minute they cancel on you or they ghosted you, right?
Oops.
High chances are because you are not searchable on social media. They don't know what you are doing. And then, so that's how important social media searchability is lah. So it doesn't matter whether you are in one platform or two, but as long as you are on social media and you are searchable, and I think it's good enough for you to have that meeting and clinch that deal. Okay, so that's TS. So final one, T, is tangible business and marketing assets. So for example, what?
I
What
need this
is
chat.
that?
But that is so deep, yo.
Okay,
I love it. Continue.
Okay, so tangible business and marketing asset is like, for example, if you have created, if you have written a book before, and I know Manisha somehow has this kind of like book, it has your name on it, right? So that is your tangible business and marketing assets. If you have a landing page, a website, that is our tangible and marketing assets. And then because because these kind of assets you can actually use the rest of your life. So if you have video testimonial, you can use that as the rest of your life. So that becomes a marketing asset as well. If you have been featured before, so that's why I always force you all, if you if you have been featured before, put that whatever featured you have been in before on your maybe social media, on your your website. because that's when people will search for you and they know that you have done and been
Yeah.
featured before.
Mm.
Okay, and then email list. I think
Right.
Look at
Now I leave
Manisha's
chat.
face.
Now I leave chat.
Thanks.
now I'm looking at
Her
Manisha.
jaw
Manisha
dropped.
also Manisha also have been like trying to tell us, you know, like guys, please have your database ready, which is actually our email list. And these are all good assets. And I think the most what do you call it? The most recent content that we have been also building is to have the tribe in either Telegram or WhatsApp. And I know some of us do have our own tribe, like Manisha has her own tribe on Medium, and then Fitri has her own community on Telegram and also Instagram as well. So these are all your assets. So build on these assets because these are all your warm leads that will actually ready to buy from you. So yeah, so that's trust funnel.
I love it. Wait, hold up.
Like very long, sorry,
No, it's not long, boring. It's really good. Macam, I think storytelling also is not about sharing stories, but it's also sharing your past, success stories like what you just mentioned. Yeah, and it's really important that you jump in and thankful that you remember that part and share with us today. Yeah. So thank you for listening into another podcast episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who you think will benefit from.
Yeah.
You are still here? How about watching our previous video about the future of work? We talk about the landscape of work in 2024 and what are the opportunities we can look forward to grow our business. See you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.